Yo, what's up, guys? Hopefully this is working and we're going to find some bets. So without further ado, let's kind of get into it. We're going to be looking at PrizePicks, Underdog Fantasy, a bunch of different sports books, and we'll see what's available out there. So it looks like there's some decent lines on PrizePicks. There's also some decent lines on Fliff. So where do we want to start? Let me also pull up ParlayPlay. So again, depending on, where you're located, there's literally hundreds of sports books out there. All these books, they all set odds independently. Every book has different lines from one another. So the more books you have, the better. Like you can see there's a lot of plays on WinBet right now. WinBet's in a lot of states, but it's not in California, so I'm not going to be betting on it. So let's pull up PrizePicks, Underdog Fantasy, and where is ParlayPlay? And we can start here, and we can just start looking for some bets. I saw there were some decent lines available. As exciting as it is to watch the Panthers and the Saints, we still got 45 minutes until the second game. Let's hit some bets. So we can start out on PrizePicks. There's actually a couple of plays that I like. I didn't place a lot of bets on PrizePicks today. They actually limited me. I mean, it's literally insane. But if you take a look right here, like if I try to create a 2-pick entry and bet $50 on it, I mean, my bet sizes are going to be down a lot. They tell me, hey, your max entry size is $25. So had a pretty good weekend on PrizePicks. They ended up limiting me, which is a little frustrating, but regardless, we'll find some plays. We'll take a look kind of at all the main sports books, see what's out there. So you can see there are some plays on Fliff. Nothing like crazy out there right now. I mean, we can pull up Hot Streak as well. Again, the more books you got, the better. But why don't we start, with PrizePicks? So the best play that I can currently see on PrizePicks, and you can see it right here, is Chris Boswell under 1.5 field goals. Again, I have, baby betting limits now on PrizePicks, but this is a really good play, right? And it's pretty simple. If you're new to, whatever, the OddsJam YouTube, like PrizePicks strategy is pretty simple. On PrizePicks, this is a platform where they don't change your payout, right, based on you selecting over versus under. We take this guy to score a goal, over or under, we're getting a 3x payout. So what you want to do, right, because PrizePicks isn't changing your payout based on you selecting over versus under, is you want to find plays like this play on Boswell, right? Like you can see here, all the books have Boswell heavily favored to go under 1.5 field goals, right? DraftKings has him minus 160 to go under, right? His under is heavily favored. So obviously on PrizePicks, if they're going to give you the same payout, if you take his over or his under, you want to take his under. And if you go through the math behind PrizePicks, what you'll see is for these 5-pick flex plays, which, is largely what we've been placing. Damn. So we went 4 for 5 there. Sutton, that was not a fun play on Sutton because he didn't have any yards until the fourth quarter. And more importantly, I mean, we cashed this play for $5,000 yesterday, but we had a lot of close ones too, which was really annoying. So but anyways, let's get back into it. So the first play, Chris Boswell under 1.5 field goals on PrizePicks. If you go through the math behind their payouts, I've done this for their 2 picks, their 5 flexes, everything. All you got to do to be profitable on PrizePicks is win above 54.25% of your bets, right? Most people can't do that. Most people don't have an advantage, and if you don't have an advantage, you picking over versus under, you're only going to win these plays 50% of the time. If you don't have an advantage, you're going to hit these over-unders 50% of the time. But anyways, let's get into some picks. What's up, guys? Let's hit some bets. Yeah, I know, Tyreek Hill was beat. But anyways, here's the first play that's really good. All the sports books have, the under heavily favored, as you can kind of see right here. So we know this is a solid play, that we can go with on PrizePicks. Chris Boswell, under 1.5 field goals. You can see there's also some pretty big line discrepancies already showing up for the NFL. A lot of times it's these niche markets. I'm not sure why DraftKings has no juice in their market for the second quarter money line. Seems like they're screwing that up. But without further ado, let's try to look for some other PrizePicks picks. And again, I'm not going to be able to bet a lot of money on this because they limited me to like $5. But hey, that's just kind of how it is sometimes on these sports books. Some of them will cut your bet sizes down. So what we can do is we can try to find 4 more picks to go with on PrizePicks, right? We can try to find some other good picks that we want to go with. So let me reload this quickly. And then we'll actually go over to Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy, you have a $100 betting limit, so that's a little better than the $25 on PrizePicks. We also had some big wins on Underdog. We had a 5-pick hit this weekend. But anyways, let's go back here. And we can kind of take a look at all the sports books. So we got PrizePicks up. Any plays we fall in love with, we can kind of like take a look, see if there's anything. So, it's also recommending taking Dustin Hopkins under 1.5 field goals. All the books also have Hopkins heavily favored to go under. But it doesn't really make sense to pair these players together, right? Like, they're on opposing teams. So this just doesn't make a lot of sense, right? To pair them together. It seems like it would be negatively correlated. So I would just take one of them, and obviously this play on Boswell has a higher win percentage, so that play seems, a little better. But anyways, let's continue to look for some picks that we can go with. So you can see here, like, there's a lot of discrepancies in Esports, which is, there's just so many Esports games. These books really don't know how to manage their lines, right? You won't really see this level of discrepancies in, like the NBA. You're not going to see PrizePicks setting a line, at 19 for, let's say, some players' points, and then Underdog Fantasy at 21.5. So in esports, there's a lot of big discrepancies. The market's very inefficient. These books don't really know where to price lines. And there's also so many games. Like, just look at how many esports lines these books have. They have a lot of lines to manage. So in general, it's decently easy to find some value on esports. So we can take a look here. How do we feel about this play? So we can go over to CSGO. And I kind of like to just like pull up this, just see where the entire market is. Not a ton of books post esports lines, but hey, enough do. So what we can do is we can look at this player, ADK, first player 2 map kills. And you can see here, like, all OddsJam is doing, right, is just reading in the data. Like, there's nothing complicated about this product. And what you're going to notice is PrizePicks has this line at 25. All these other sports books, right? Underdog Fantasy, billion-dollar company. They put a lot of money into their models, their ability to set lines, move lines due to where action's coming in. They have the line 2.5 kills higher at 27.5. Parlay plays higher at 25.5, only a little bit higher. JockMKT at 27. So again, like, not a ton of books post esports lines, but just kind of looking here, it seems like, okay, like, PrizePicks has their line too low relative to all the other data points we have. So this seems like a good play to take the over on. So that can be the second pick we go with. And again, like, when it's just 2 sports books posting odds, in this case you got PrizePicks and Underdog, you shouldn't really be as confident in your bets because there's only, 2 sports books. So we can go here, and then we can go here, and we want to take him. So a lot of these ones where it's just, PrizePicks and Underdog posting lines, I'll either middle bet it or I'll skip it. So by middle betting, I mean this guy's line, right? It's 21.5 on Underdog. PrizePicks had it at 19. You can bet the over 19 on PrizePicks, the under 21.5 on Underdog. It's kind of like going to E-Trade. You buy a stock for 19. You go to Fidelity. You short the stock. You sell it at 21.50. So, we found a big discrepancy in the market. But again, there's just not a ton of data points. So I wouldn't just want to bet the side necessarily on PrizePicks. So we can go here and we can see, like, okay, what did we want to take on this last play? We wanted to take him over 36 kills. We have Howard over 3.5 assists. So we're starting to look at a pretty good play right here. Howard over 3.5 assists. So there we have 4 picks down. And again, I'm only going to be able to bet $25 on this. But hey, that's just kind of how it goes. So we can go back here. And let's see if there's anything else that we want to go with. And then we'll head over to Underdog Fantasy. And then we can take a look. I mean, hopefully there's some NFL plays for tonight as well, but we'll have to see about that. So Chris Boswell definitely appears to be, the best play on the board. Ward over 3 tackles and assists. How do we feel about this? So we can go back to the NFL and we can take a look at Ward over 3 tackles and assists. So this play seems decent. I would go with these 5 picks. All of them, right? There can be value in CSGO, WNBA. It looks like the most random slip of all time. Man, I was really hoping these limits would go away within like a day. What are you talking? And it's not even going to let me bet this. It says maximum daily amount is $4,000. I haven't even been able to bet today. I don't even think I've placed a bet on PrizePicks today, but they're not even going to let me bet it. You see this little error thing coming up in the top right. But regardless, if you want a play to go with, and then we'll head over to Underdog, where I can actually get down some volume, this would be the play, right? Boswell under 1.5 field goals. Again, on PrizePicks, you want to be profitable. All you got to do is win above 54.25% of your picks. And you can see, like, all the sports books, if we just go back here, right, they all have him heavily favored to go under. Right? All these books are data points. Fliff has this, Fliff is tanking lines on his under, right? They've moved it all the way down to minus 180. DraftKings minus 160. They have the under favored. Billion-dollar companies, they all got the under as the favored outcome. So we're just following the data. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm not even going to be able to bet it. But if you wanted something to go with, this play seems decent. Howard, that plays for tomorrow. Then we got 2 esports plays, NFL for the night games. Anyways, what's up, guys? CSGO. Anyways, what we can do is we can go back here. So let's skip over PrizePicks. I mean, we just found some good picks, over 25. That play seems decent. You could also middle bet that with Underdog, right? Like, you can see on the sportsbook screen here, PrizePicks has his line at 25. Underdog 27.5, hit the over 25, under 27.5. All this data, we're just using it to our advantage. Most bets aren't good, right? I say that in every video, but it's true. It's like, Underdog Fantasy has thousands of lines available at any given time. Most of these bets suck. We're looking for those few spots of gold, where they're actually screwing up. You can see, too, a lot of the wins we had this weekend were on TD props, players to go under in terms of how many TDs they have. We had Bijan Robinson, Joshua Kelly, Diggs, all under. But anyways, let's go back to Underdog Fantasy. And we can take a look, see if there's anything that we fall in love with. And it looks like there's some good CSGO plays. And then we can also check out ParlayPlay, see if there's anything, we really like here. And again, like if you use FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever, obviously those are the main sports books. I use them all the time when I'm at home in Virginia, but currently I'm not. But you can see there's good bets. Lance Lynn over 18.5 outs. All these books, looks like there's some value. Notre Dame, first half money line. Cleveland Browns, minus 1.5 first half spread, right? So there's a lot of good bets out there. But again, what's really powerful about sports betting is even if you can get like a 2% ROI on your bets, you're betting on games typically that are that day, right? Like this bet has a 5.38% profit margin. Really big discrepancy on Hot Streak. They're giving us Kyle Tucker no hit at plus 192, right? So, if you could even have a 2% ROI on your bets and you're betting every day, that's 60% a month, just compounding. So we can lock in a Hot Streak play. I mean, I know it's not the most sexy platform, but this play seems really good, right? Kyle Tucker to not get a hit. All these other books have this line around plus 150, plus 160-ish. Hot Streak just casually at plus 192. That seems, pretty good. So we can go here, and we can take Kyle Tucker to not get a hit. And it's really just, it's very simple. I don't get emotional about my sports betting. And then we compare it with Deshaun Watson, under 1.5 passing TDs. All the sports books have this like minus 200. Hot Streak has this minus 159. It's kind of like if the price of a stock was different on Fidelity, E-Trade, Robinhood, right? Like you go through all those different platforms. Fidelity says the stock's worth 200. E-Trade 194. Charles Schwab, 190. And then you can buy it at 159. That's a no-brainer. So we can go here and we can take Watson, and it looks like they moved that down a bit. But what we want to do is we want to take Watson's under. So we can go back here and we can refresh. And Deshaun Watson. So it looks like a random slip, but hey, that's where the value is. Let's hit it for 200. So we can go ahead and we can lock it in. And again, what's a little weird about Hot Streak is they put their odds in decimal format. But regardless, there we go. We got our first pick on Hot Streak. 2 plays with value. I don't really care what platform I'm betting on. If there's, value on that platform, if they're screwing up lines, there's good bets. I'll be hitting them. Cutter Crawford, over 4.5 strikeouts, also looks decent. Whatever. But anyways, Kenny Pickett, under interceptions. But regardless, let's go back here and let's get rid of Caesars, DraftKings, FanDuel, and let's look for some plays on Underdog Fantasy as well as ParlayPlay. Damn, so this play seems good. George Pickens. So if we go here, do we already have a play on Pickens? So we already have him under 3.5 receptions. But so I don't know if I'm going to be able to rebet this, but you can see ParlayPlay moved his line up to 4 receptions, which seems like it's a pretty big discrepancy. So if we go here to the sportsbook screen, we can take a look at George Pickens, see what the deal is. So if we go to NFL, we go to player receptions, and we can just take a look, see how we feel about it. So this plays on Jock Market as well, but it looks very clearly, you can see DraftKings is ripping odds towards his under. They just moved from -115 to -120. You can see that on the sportsbook screen. So PrizePicks Underdog have this line at 3.5. Parlay plays higher at 4, right? All the other sportsbooks have the line at 3.5, and DraftKings flip. They have the under as the favored or the juiced outcome. Their markets are juiced towards the under. Same with FanDuel. So this seems like a really good play. Again, I'm not sure if they're going to let me bet it again, but we can try to fly through ParlayPlay. And then we can take a look at some of the other sports books. Chris Boswell, under 6 kicking points. I think I bet that yesterday too. So they're not going to let me rebet it. Cutter Crawford, over 4.5 strikeouts. I thought I already had a play on Crawford. Let's take a look. So I already have him under 4.5 strikeouts. So what else do we like? Dylan Moore, over half of a base. So we can take a look here. And let's just hit this quickly, and then let's go back to Underdog. So again, the way that ParlayPlay works is, just like PrizePicks, they have fixed payouts, right? You take the over, you take the under. For Dylan Moore, where did he go? Did that game just start? Dylan Moore. Dylan Moore bases. Let's go back here, and let's take a look. So I don't know. Maybe they removed the line. So let me refresh. The market moves. I've explained that before, but, some of these great lines, they're not going to last forever. But you can see, how do we feel about, you can see PrizePicks already has released 4 NFL lines for next weekend. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Justin Jefferson, Derrick Henry. So we'll take a look at those maybe in another live stream once I can actually, bet. They're not even letting me bet anything right now, but hopefully tomorrow. I'm not really sure. But anyways, we'll take a look. So we can go here. So we got George Pickens under 4. That play looked ridiculous. All the books have the line at 3.5. Most of them have the under as the favored outcome. So that play seems pretty good. And then, honestly, there's not a ton of plays available. Kenny Pickett under 208.5. So we can take a look here. Let's just go over to Underdog Fantasy, though. It doesn't seem like there's a ton of plays available. So this seems pretty good, right? All these sports books, they're all data points, right? Jock Market has a sophisticated model. Same thing with Underdog, PrizePicks. So, you want to use all this information to make sharper bets, right? ParlayPlay has a line at 208.5. You have all these other books saying, no, the line should be lower. Although, on Hot Streak, oh my gosh, you can get Kenny Pickett at 214.5. So that seems even better. So we can go here, and I just kind of stumbled upon this play. But if we were going to bet his under 208 half, we thought that looked good on PrizePicks, and getting under, where is Hot Streak? So we have it pulled up, but let's see if there's anything. So now we just need to find something to pair it with. We can also look at receiving yards. It seems like they're just kind of screwing up lines. They have Kenny Pickett's line too high relative to every other book. So we can see is there any other value on Hot Streak? You can kind of just scan through the market. And honestly, there is, right? Like Allen Robinson under 38.5. I mean, there's actually a lot of discrepancies. So if you don't use Hot Streak, I don't talk about them much, but you can see here a lot of value in general on a lot of their lines. Allen Robinson, his line is 38.5 on Hot Streak, 30.5 on these other books. So just a lot of value in the market in general. So anyways, we can go back here. We can check out the optimizer, see if it has any plays on Hot Streak that we can pair with. And TJ Watt under 3.5 tackles plus assists. Devers under. So we can take Noda over half of a single. So you can see Hot Streak has this line at plus 204. FanDuel's only giving you plus 115. So that seems decent. But this may be a promo play. So you can see Hot Streak. They have these promos. They give you boosted odds. So this is your payout. I'm not sure why they put things in payout, but 3.04 means you're betting 100 to win 304. So it's just the same thing as, what am I trying to say? 3.04 is just the same thing as plus 204 odds. It's your payout. 3.04, you're betting 100 to win 304. So anyways, we can lock in that play as well. But let's go to Underdog. We got the game starting pretty soon, so let's try to move here. Damn. So here we can see there are some good plays on Underdog. Underdog is a sports book we've had some pretty good success on. PrizePicks is what really crushed it last weekend, but hey, we can take a look here at Stormer. Where is it? Stormer. So you can see, right? Why is OddsJam recommending this play? OddsJam is a very simple platform. All it does is it pulls in all these odds and says, hey, here's where books are screwing up relative to the rest of the market. So if you go here to, PrizePicks, it's like PrizePicks, billion-dollar company. They have really sophisticated models. They're moving around lines due to where action's coming in. They have this guy's line at 11.5, right? So does ParlayPlay. So seems like, Underdog Fantasy has their line too low. And again, it's just kind of wow, what an exciting game. So we'll turn that on here in a bit. But it's kind of the price of a stock, is this stock price is based on supply and demand from the entire market, right? You have millions of investors who wake up every day and all they do is think about if companies are overvalued and undervalued. And the price of a stock is where supply and demand meet. So a lot of people, they think sportsbook odds are static, and that's just not the case, right? You can see DraftKings moving around lines a ton based on where action's coming in, right? Same thing with Pinnacle here. So the market is very fragmented. All these books set lines independently, and then they kind of move around their lines based on where action's coming in. These books aren't stupid. If everyone bets on this guy to go over, 23 Savage, not 21 Savage, 23 Savage. If everyone keeps hammering this guy's line to go over, PrizePicks is going to take his line higher, right? That's how a sports book works. So anyways, it's kind of like if you're a day trader and I could tell you, hey, let's go back in time 6 months. Do you want to buy Facebook? Well, Facebook is up 52.95%. So you'd be an idiot if you said no. Right? The market is now telling us, hey, we believe Facebook is 52.95% more valuable as a company. Maybe, whatever. They made more money than expected. Who knows? But there's a lot of good lines on Hot Streak. You can see a lot of receiving yard discrepancies, stuff like that. But anyways, we got our first pick. And then we can hopefully find some other good pairings to go with. So this play is in the same game. so I'm going to skip it over. You really don't want to bet on players in the same game. Here we only have one data point. It's PrizePicks versus Underdog. So those plays in general I prefer, to avoid. Not avoid, but this play on the other hand seems beautiful. So once again, we have Thompson under 18, right? And this is positively correlated. So, you can see we have good value on both these plays. PrizePick, the other sports books have Thompson's line at 16, Underdog at 18. But an added benefit is in esports, players on opposing teams are positively correlated to go opposite directions. So what I mean by that is when you're betting on the NFL, right? Like if you want to take Deshaun Watson over in passing yards, it probably makes sense to take Amari Cooper, you get the point. Some Pittsburgh receiver to go, some Browns receiver also to go over, right? They're on the same team. Deshaun Watson's the quarterback, so if he has a great game, Amari Cooper is more likely to have a great game. So in esports, it's positively correlated. Players on opposing teams, you want to take one over, one under for players on, opposing teams. But anyways, we got some plays showing up on Fliff. But let's go back here. So now we have two plays and we have positive correlation on our slip. So that's pretty beautiful. And then we can take a look at esports. So again, the more books you have, obviously the better. As we've explained before, you never know which book is going to be screwing up their lines on a given day. Seems like there's some good value on the fantasy optimizer right now on Underdog Fantasy. So let's try to finish off our slip. Where am I looking? Where did I screw up? So let's go back to Underdog and let's take a look very quickly. And then, so this play I already bet. Jalen Warren, so I'm not going to be able to rebet that. But what we can do is we can find one last play to go with. So recommending some esports plays. So like, for example, Exit, his line is 34.5 on Underdog. JockMKT, has his line lower at 32.5. PrizePicks has his line at 32. It's just like rational, data-driven sports betting. We're following market information to make better bets. And you can see there's some other CSGO plays available, but I know most people want to watch the game, and I'm talking. So what we'll do is we'll just take one of these plays, and then we want under 34.5. So it's the second game. So again, a lot of esports games means a lot of value, a lot of opportunity for sportsbooks to screw up. As a sharp bettor, you're looking for a needle in a haystack. It's like a hedge fund, right? They're looking through the millions of possible investments for those few ones they believe have an edge that justifies investing. Same thing in sports betting. Underdog Fantasy has tens of thousands of lines. We're using market data, the data never lies, to find plays where we have an edge. And we have positive correlation on this slip, which is beautiful. So we'll go ahead, we'll lock that in. My max bet size on Underdog is just $100, so I'm going with $100. Yo, bro, we hit some hot streak plays, or PrizePicks plays. We gave out a PrizePicks play, I just couldn't bet it. But anyways, if you want the hot streak plays, let me go here. And there were some other good lines available. It seemed like they were screwing up a lot of their receiving yard lines. So we had Pickett under 213.5, Noda over half of a single. That was a promo. And then we have Tucker, no hit, Deshaun Watson, under 1.5 passing TDs. That's what we got on Hot Streak. Here's what we have on Underdog. As always, if you have questions, hit me up, alex@oddsjam.com, about, anything we're talking about. There's some other plays on Underdog Fantasy available. There's some plays on Fliff, as you can see right here, if you want to get more action down. There's some plays on ParlayPlay, like you could grind out a few more plays. But the game's about to start, so we'll call it a day for now. Hopefully this was helpful. Any questions you have, you can email me, alex@oddsjam.com. And shit was bumped before you even entered your pick. So I apologize if this was bumped quickly. It was up there for a while, though. You guys had plenty of opportunity to bet it. But anyways, we'll call it a day for now. Hopefully, this was helpful. And we'll be back tomorrow hitting some PrizePicks slips, Underdog Fantasy. Enjoy the game. Good luck to any bets you